What is going on, folks? I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, there we go. Making sure my audio is right. Cool. I hope everybody's doing good. Hey, Withered. We got Quincy the Fancy Owl. Lights, Camera, Ellie. Awesome. See if we can get some more people in here. My mustache and whatever this thing is coming in. So is this stuff? Hey, what's going on, man? Darren? Pete? Are you gonna sleep soon? Make a time zone. Hey, let's get to your Chappy. I love your stash here. Oh man. Hey, Holly, what's going on? Alright, let's close. You love my lip bangs? Oh man. Let's. Y'all are ridiculous. But you know I love you all. Let me go to the YouTubes and find my channel and spread the link. So I'm finally in a place with a guy I met. He seems pretty cool. He's got a couple dogs, so you might hear them. They're a little bit loud. Place with the guy I met. Oh, did not mean for that to happen. Sorry, my art is lacking. Art block. No, your art is awesome always. I love your art. Let me do an at everyone. Reason this is 263. Last one was 261. I did a 262, but I got way too drunk. I was like, I gotta hide this stream, and I did. So I think we're gonna do some stories if y'all are down for that. I haven't worn my lip ring in a while. You're safe from the guidelines, I see. What do you mean? What guidelines? I'm not sure I comprehend. Is there something new with YouTube? New YouTube guidelines. FTC. Do you want to explain something? I mean, I'm not. No comprehending. You don't know what you mean. Anyways, um, let's check out some no sleeps. Oh, just dropped my vape. Where'd it go? There it is. I see it. So, anyways, to bring it down a little bit, y'all know yesterday I posted a thing about Donna, Texas girly Donna, passing away. I believe it was pulmonary disease, and that's there's something to that effect. Her blood wasn't getting oxygenated, and that happens in your lungs. Um, you're plugging stuff in, keep talking. Yeah, everyone is freaking out. Yes, I don't know what you mean. So yeah, she left behind um, her family, and just looks like my camera stopped. Miscellaneous magnets. Give me 1 second. My camera just stopped. Yeah, I want to remove my video capture device and re-add it. I will be right there, guys. I'm sorry. Add source. Nope. head again. There it goes. No, it was on and then it. Oh, don't tell me my camera went out. What the crap? Hang on 1 second, guys. I mean, y'all can kind of see me through this crappy camera. We're gonna have to use this for a second while I figure out the other one. But yeah, so unfortunately, Donna passed away. Really, really sad. For those of you who have seen her on my channel, she really was just a really sweet person. And she will be very sorely missed. So now that makes 2 viewers passed. I'm going to say this now. I don't want anybody else to pass away. Dang it, where's my USBs? Oh, you're getting unplugged. It turned on for even less time. What the crap? Alright, hang on a second, guys. I gotta turn it on around so I can see. Oh yeah, now this camera looks fine. I'm having a hard time processing the dark. What happens when I do that? Oh, it works again. Okay. Miscellaneous magnets. Sorry, I didn't greet you when you came in. How are you doing? Hey, Prev. How you doing, bud? And yeah, real sad about Donna. She will be sorely missed. Thanks for that, Verizon. Just a little dingy ding right there in the middle of the stream, beginning of the stream. There we go. Silent mode's on now. Let's do that. There we go. And once a floating head again. Y'all see I'm wearing my Chappy shirt. I don't turn around. And if I look hard enough, I will find Bert's vase. We got the Bert's vase in the suitcase right over there. So maybe we'll go find some a little bit later. Yeah. So, alright. I'm all caught up on what we're saying. Yeah, so we're going to do some. You're back. Well, good, me too. My camera went out. I'm going to sit in my junk room. Had to adjust. Like a gentleman. I feel like I'm growing one of those, gentlemanly type of mustaches. I'm kind of digging this thing. I got to figure this thing out, though. It's being funny right now. There it goes. It's better. It's just really my first foray into full facial hair. You see, it's coming in all white trash like that underneath. There's that bald spot right there. And a little one right over there. Where's the nose ring at? It's somewhere. The bad guy that leaves the good guy tied up with a trade tracks mustache. Wait. I can find the nose ring. If you want to give me a second. Oh, wait, I know where it's at. Now, if you're squeamish, you may want to turn around. This will be painful. I don't wear this thing very often. At all. And it's going to hurt. So if you're squeamish, don't watch. There you go. I'll even zoom in a little bit for you. Let's do this. Nope. Give me properties. Oh, there's the doggos. And we're going to zoom. There we go. My face is huge right now. There we go. Oh. You've seen cysts popping? Go on. Okay. it in the hole at the start. So you want to start? Yeah. I think it's closed. Oh yeah, there it goes. Oh, there we go. We got it. Oh, that'll make your eyes water a little bit. Zoom back, stupid. There we go. Pick that nose. Yeah, I know, right? There we go. That's center-ish. There's Chappy again, like I know him. It's my wallet. Where did I put that? Right there. Alright, so we were going to do some no sleeps. No slept. Letters the no slept. We might even go back to our old tried and true creepypasta.com, but I don't want to get in trouble, busted, because someone's like, hey, that's my story, and I said no copyrights, and I'm not getting paid for this through YouTube, so not yet at least. Did I quit smoking? I did. I vape now. And my nose hurts like the dickens right now. Like always, there's a lot of mods in here. Just, I say no cussing, please. Trolls are okay, because I'll deal with those guys. But if you attack one of my people in here, mods go at it. That burned. That's supposed to burn. It's weird. All these are series. I've been driving endlessly for 15 hours, and I don't want to answer my phone. Yeah, it's not even a chunky boy. You can read that one. So, ooh, you can feel the hairs. Why put myself through that? Why not? You're gonna see me constantly playing with a mustache now. Not so much the nose ring anymore. It's the mustache now. All right, let me get adjusted. Make sure y'all can still see me. Bring this in just a little bit closer. Just a little bit. So right there. And pan up a little bit. There we go. I have a floating head. It's not even similar. It's kind of similar. You're gonna doodle while you talk. Well, hopefully I can give you some creepy things to think about. Hang on, here, dark real quick. Where's my tea? I need my drink. My drink. Where's my drink? Oh, there it is. It's right behind the computer. So no alcohol this stream. No alcohol this weekend. I got to work tomorrow, which is Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, and then I'm off. Then we might do a creepy drunk stream that I'll inevitably say too much and have to take off. Y'all should go to those. They're really fun. I want more people to drink with me. Lipton citrus tea. Green tea with citrus. It's good stuff. There we are. Let me fix this so I can see y'all. There we go. What are we drinking? Green tea? Okay. I'm looking away. Well, Pete, it's too late. Don't look away anymore, bud. Just how I know, my man. You guys are ridiculous. You know I love you all. Let's fix that. There we go. All right. So let's get started. This one is I've been driving endlessly for 15 hours, and I don't want to answer the phone.
No, can't make me.
That's what it sounds like to me. But well, whatever. And that wraps up our countdown to the top 40 hits of the weekend. We'll be back with new chart toppers next Saturday. Until then, I turned off the radio, taking a deep breath as I keep driving along the interstate, the headlamps keeping the dark of the night at bay. Outside, I pass a large, unrecognizable tree. A hooded guy standing underneath gave me a creepy smile as my car rolled forward. I tried to ignore it. A yawn builds within. I try to stifle it as it begins to well in the corners of my eyes. Boredom silently sets in, with the dull hum of the engine taking the dominant role. Why did this have to happen? Things are going so well. You see, the countryside wedding was a joyous affair, and my friend was over the moon. We'd all decided to let the day pass in festivities while reminiscing the good old college days. Halfway through the celebrations, however, fate took a toll on me. A single phone call changed my mood. The alcohol had drained along with the blood from my face. Grandma had met with an accident. Suddenly, my car hits a speed bump, the jolt shaking me back to the present. I steady the car. Then a voice spills out from the radio. How's it going, folks? Thank you for tuning in to 303 The Hits. Tonight, we'll be having an endless run of classics, and I assure you, you just won't be able to turn them down. I abruptly turn off the radio. Letting the silence wash over me, cold sweat pricks my face, and I draw out a tissue from the glove box to wipe the sweat beads off. But the radio chimes back in on its own. Now, what did I say? You just can't turn off the radio. Let's move on to the playlist. To hit the mood right, nothing says a dying grandmother better than static. The voice simply trails off, leaving my heart stuck in my throat. How did it know? My eyes dart around the road, trying to grasp at any form of logic that my brain can muster. And then I feel a cold breath coming and heaves as if. My phone rings, startled. I fumble through my pockets and see my friend's name on it. I answer the call. Bree, hi. Hey, what's up? Jay, how have you been holding up? I'm fine, I think, I lied. I'm still on the road. There was a slight pause, and I could feel Bree's hesitation through the receiver. It's been 7 hours since you left the wedding, Jay. How come you're still driving? My blood freezes. I bring the car to a halt. What do you mean 7 hours? It's hardly been, 3, 4 hours since I left? No response. I can hear her breathing down the line. Bree? Her breathing gets shallow. Bree, what's going on? Welcome to 303, The Hits. How's Grandma? I throw the phone off and it bounces off the window and lands on the shotgun seat. A raspy laugh emanates from the receiver. The radio static tunes into the horrible imitation. Both voices rise in volume and pitch, filling my car with ear-splitting shrillness. I try to subdue it by blocking my ears. Tears roll down my face. I hastily open the door and walk out into the night. Silence engulfs me. I take a huge gulp of the cold, crisp air as it pierces my throat. I look around, trying to find a place, any place, where I can get help. but the loomy trees sway listlessly in the lazy breeze, rustling and ignorant of my situation. I stay out for another 5 minutes, though I have no sense of time at this point, before braving the open car. Nothing. The car idles as if nothing happened, the engine punctuating the surroundings with its low rumble. I sit back inside, grab the phone, and stare at the call logs for a full minute. Bree never called. Was that a hallucination? I senselessly look around for an explanation. The night doesn't seem to care at all. I disengage the handbrake, hit the accelerator, and ride back again. Unwillingly, my hand moves towards the radio dial. And that wrap, and that wraps our countdown to the top 40 hits of the week. We'll be back with new chart toppers next week. Until then, I turn the radio off, taking a deep breath as I keep driving along the interstate, the headlamps keeping the dark of the night at bay. Outside, I pass an unrecognizable tree. Two hooded guys are standing beneath, giving me a creepy smile as if my car started rolling forward and then it hit me. Before I could even process the likeness of the events, my car hits a speed bump. The jolt brings my attention to the front. I steady my car, then a voice spills out of the radio. How's it going, folks? Thank you for turning into 303. The hits tonight, a horrible sensation takes over me. I feel a dull headache as nausea starts to grip my senses while the radio speaks out the same lines. This happened. I know this happened. I wasn't hallucinating. It's those guys under the tree, but the car's locked, and all I can do is drive forward. As if I were making a guess. If I were to make a guess, I'd say it's been around 15 hours since I left the wedding. Sometime close to 22:30, 10:30. But there's been no sunrise. I've been driving and halting the car at various points, only to see an endless stretch of road ahead. The radio is static. I just can't turn off. My phone's clock is glitched. Google Maps shows my location to be somewhere in West Indiana. Nope, Western India. The whole ocean apart. Clearly broken. The car isn't rumbling. The car isn't running out of fuel. Sorry. Or maybe the dial is broken as well. The internet refuses to answer my queries. Strangely, Reddit works, so here I am. Someone help me out of this hell. I can see the same tree in the distance, but I can't seem to get closer to it. The worst part, I cannot make a call, but I keep receiving one. I'm too afraid to answer it. It's Grandma. It was alright. I'm getting back in the swing of reading, so we'll get there. Habit. What's the habit? Alright, well, let me try something. There we go. Story. A Us humans are habitual creatures. We're something, man. We're something. You need story muscles? I know. I'm getting there. I'll remember how to do this soon enough. Let's make the screen the right size. There we go. Um, let's find another story. The house in the middle of the street. Firewolf Studios, what's happening? Hopefully you're doing well. I don't think I recognize your name. Hey, Julie. Um, my dog went missing. Now he's come back. That looks like fun. Let's try this one. You were Frostwolf Studios? You've changed. You're fire! Fire! No, I'm sorry. How are things? How's your mom and them? Have it. You get it where you vape. God, stupid vapors. Thinking they're so awesome. No, like freaking dragons or something. Don't smoke a cigarette, stupid vapors. Alright, here we go. I didn't give you the link to the last story. Let me do that real quick. Mosquito bit you yesterday. I would say it's almost too cold for mosquitoes, but that was yesterday. It was too cold for mosquitoes today, not yesterday. Yeah, here's the story. Here's one I just read. Um, I don't need cigarettes anymore. I smoked one yesterday when my vape went out. It tasted bad, but yeah, I'm pretty much. I don't. I haven't had it. I got drunk and had a couple cigarettes the other day because my vape went out. But no, I don't. I don't crave cigarettes at all anymore. They, your hands. Oh, they taste bad. Yeah, I pretty much. If I got vape, I do this. It's weird. That made me burp. Let me try something. 1 second. Be careful of the vape. I know. I know. Doobly doobly doo. Doobly doobly da. Alright, so this is my dog went missing. Now he's come back. Max was the softest, sweetest dog I had ever had the privilege of owning. I found him when I was a teenager. I was walking down the road in my hands in my with my hands in my pockets, my iPod blaring music without a care in the world, when I heard a soft whining coming from the gutter. Inside, I saw a scrawny black dog with the most adorable floppy ears and chocolate brown eyes. The rest, as they say, is history. As the years went by, Max was my constant companion. He was there when I graduated from high school, when I graduated from college, at my wedding, even when my wife and I welcomed our daughter into our lives a few years ago. Max never objected to our family growing bigger. He loved my wife as much as I do. He did not object when he was forced to move from the bed to a dog bed in the living room. As for our daughter, Maddie, well, we often joked that Max would murder us to save Maddie. He loved more than I did. I did not care if she pulls his, or he did not care if she pulls his tail or petted him too roughly. Even though he's now a lot bigger and his glistening coat was beginning to sprout a few gray hairs, he still had the same energy, the spirit of a puppy. Many people commented on his longevity. You can imagine how I felt when he vanished. He just disappeared without a trace one evening. He was licking me good night. The next morning, he simply was not there. We did everything. We put up posters, called the cops, organized search parties in the town. But it was as if he had vanished off the face of the planet. As the weeks turned into months, we began to lose hope. I felt as if I had been punched in the stomach. My best friend was gone for good. But last week he came back. I opened the back door and found him sitting there. He was certainly a lot grayer than before, but it had the same chocolate brown eyes, the same floppy ears, and even the collar with his name on it. What followed was a joyful reunion filled with many tears of joy. I was just so thankful to have him back. After a few days, I noticed that new Max seemed a little less playful, a little more cautious. He seemed wilder, leaner, more savage. He wagged his tail less and growled more. He was less willing to sit with me for hugs and cuddles. He abandoned his dog bed in favor of cuddling up with my daughter. He was also bigger. Strangest of all was that every morning he would wake up with more gray hairs. This was very strange, Cujo, but I was blinded by joy at finally having him back. Last night I heard horrible sounds, terrible sounds coming from my daughter's bedroom, followed by the pattering of footsteps in my bedroom. I quickly flicked on the light. Standing on two stunned hind legs was a gray monstrosity, easily 7 feet tall. It had sharp, pricked up ears, gleaming red eyes. Hanging between his fangs was the mangled corpse of my daughter. Worst of all, it was wagging its tail. Awkwardly, slowly, it stumbled towards the bed. I sat frozen with fear. With the sudden snap of its neck, it dropped Maddie and snapped off my wife's head. Blood soaked through the sheets and pooled on the floor. It lumbered into bed and used its forelegs to draw up the blanket to its waist. I'm still here hours later. Its tail is still wagging. It's panting. I think it's proud of what it did. It's still watching me with those terrible, terrible red eyes. Please, help me. Uh, Funnily enough, the dog's out there getting into trouble. So if y'all want to hang on 1 second, let me find out what's going on. Let me turn on the light real quick. I'll be RB. Sounds like you're getting into something. Alright guys, I'm back. Oh, hello. Don't get eaten. I'll be alright. You can't eat something as evil as me. Where is the cable? Plug this iPhone in real quick. Don't allow. There we go. Yeah, that story was a little gruesome and it started off pretty good, but mm, mm, that's fine. Hmm. Here's my roommate working out there. That's what the sound was. Hmm. Oh yeah, my nose is nice and sore. Stop cleaning that goatee. You're so critical of me. It's okay though. I'm trying to find a story that I haven't read before. Hmm. The ringing in my ear. Ooh, that's a long boy. That's a real long boy. Probably not gonna read that one. Let's see what we got on the pasta. Let's see what this one is. Don't worry, it's in here. What does that mean? I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. Oh. This one. Let's see. Birthday. Wow. Where's my teeth? There's my teeth. We are not going to read that one. That's a 20-minute story. That's like me an hour to read. Good old birthdays. Love the birthdays. Got it in a big case over there. Maybe we'll get some in a little bit. Now let's not too chat though. My sister loves minions. Got a crap reading. I am a vigilante online predator hunter. Fluffy. I already like the name. Yeah, we're gonna read it. Unless this guy says that he doesn't want us to read it. Nope. Manly Tales. Um, cold weather makes me itchy. I've got just got just got word a friend of mine just passed. It's Chappy. Wait, a friend of yours passed away? I'm very sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's terrible. Terrible news. Um, well, that's fine. I understand. Probably not in the best of moods right now. I understand if you need to go. Um, it's sad. Um, well, we're gonna read this story. It's called Fluffy, the Manly Man story. He was an older guy, heart problems. It's okay. I'm fine. Sucks. What can you do? Uh, just love life while you're here, man. You don't want to be the person that lays in their deathbed and says, I wish I had. You know? If you got a dream, you follow it. Unless it's hurting other people. Don't do that. You know, because their dreams might be, living to see another sunrise. One side's longer than the other. My mustache getting longer? Jesus, how long have I been streaming for? It goes right into the dimples. It plugs into my nipples. There we go. Um, anyways, never be the man or woman in your deathbed going, I wish. Saying, I wish. So, anyways, do this story. It's called Fluffy. It's by G.L. Bauman. So let's do this. The drifter had been walking all day, and he was on the lookout for a place to bed down for the night. That is easier said than done due to the fact that he likes to travel strictly by the back roads, for reasons only he knows. He was tall with black hair and dark, leather-like skin. He certainly looked the part of someone who spent most of his life exposed to the elements. I am sucking on the USB thumb drive. Everything he owns is in a ratty old backpack that he has had for years. But he's happy. He answers to no one, and after a couple of years of walking the back country, he's seen more incredible scenery and met some very interesting people. He isn't sure how far he has walked today, but he's feeling like he's very close to the Louisiana state line. He's excited about that because Louisiana is one of those states he's never been to before. Sometime tomorrow he won't be able to say that anymore. Right now, however, as nighttime approaches, he needs to find a place to rest for a while. He likes to be off the road by dark. He's had some close calls with drivers not seeing him, even on these back roads and two tracks. He doubts very much he will have a roof over his head tonight. He's too far out in the backwoods for that to happen. Best he can hope for is an old barn or something he can hotel in for the night. It's almost full on dark now, and a good place to sack down has not presented itself as of yet. This could only end up being one of those nights where he ends up sleeping on his back to a tree. Oh well, it could be worse. Suddenly, as he walked alongside of the road, he stepped in something wet, squishy, and gross. It was just dark enough that he didn't see it coming. Whatever it was, he stepped in square in the middle of it, and it almost felt as if his foot was sinking, skidding to the side. He almost fell as his foot went skidding to the side. What the hell is that? He muttered to himself as he moved to get closer to the middle of the disgusting pile. Upon closer inspection, he realized that it was an animal of some sort. It was fairly large size, like a deer or a large dog. He couldn't really tell because not all of the pieces were there. This was not a case of an animal getting run over. This was a case of an animal getting torn apart. It was horrible. And to make things worse, it had not happened all that long ago. The blood was still wet. It hadn't started to stink yet. This was a fresh kill. The drifter began to wonder what kind of animal might live in this part of the country that was big enough to do the kind of damage to another fairly large animal. Were there bear around here? Wolves? Mountain lions? He finally decided that he really didn't make much difference what it was. He just didn't want to meet up with it out here in the middle of nowhere. Time to keep moving and put some distance between him and whatever might still be in the area. He walked for several minutes, nervously looking and listening for anything out of the ordinary. He never really noticed anything, but he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched and followed. He stopped suddenly a couple times and stood stone still, trying to catch a stray sound or movement from anything that might be out here in the woods, just a few yards from the road. He thought he heard something moving through the trees, but he wasn't sure. It sure was scaring the hell out of him, though. He thought of running, but he knew if he did, that he would just encourage whatever it is to start chasing him. He just kept a steady pace before a little more hopeful with every step, becoming a little more hopeful with every step. Being so focused on getting out of there, the drifter didn't notice the headlights of the vehicle coming up behind him until it was a short distance away. Finally, he realized that he wasn't out here, alone out here. He began to feel better about his situation. Normally, the drifter didn't hitchhike, but this night, he was shaken enough that flagging this vehicle down felt like the right thing to do. Hey, Hope. It turned out to be an old pickup truck, and it was driving back slowly down the middle of the road. And he could hear someone yelling something. A bit of his shakiness began to return. When the truck was almost upon him, he started waving his arms in an effort to get the truck to stop. The driver was so intent on yelling out the window, he almost didn't see the drifter until it was too late. truck came to a stop and the passenger side window began a slow descent to allow the driver to talk to him. He was a grizzled old man in filthy coveralls and a white t-shirt. He had an unkempt beard that was stained yellow from years of tobacco use. He wore a baseball cap so old that the emblem on the front was no longer legible. He certainly looked the part of someone who lived in the backwoods of Louisiana. "What the hell are you doing out here walking in the middle of the night?" he asked. "I could just as easy run you over, boy." The drifter leaned against the passenger door and spoke through the window. "I'm just trying to find a good place to bed down for the night, but I got a little spooked by some noises a way back." "What kind of noises?" "I've been out here for hours trying to find Fluffy, and he's nowhere to be found. He's my pet, and I'm real worried about him." "Maybe it was him you heard." "Could be," the drifter said. It sounded like something walking through the woods just off the road. "Do you think it could be Fluffy?" "I don't rightly know. He likes people well enough. He might have been following you. I love that animal, but he can be moody and downright cranky. That's why I'm out here. I spent a lot of time making Fluffy his favorite supper, and for some reason he got all uppity and wouldn't finish it. Nothing pisses me off more than that. He's real finicky about what he eats, and it takes dang near all day to get him ready to get it ready for him. I'm not about to let him get away with not eating it." I got so frustrated that I gave him a good whack with my walking stick. He yelped like a sick puppy and took off through the screen door. I've been yelling and looking for him ever since. Damn stubborn animal. The drifter thought for a moment. He remembered the dead carcass that he had stepped in. He wondered if he should even tell the old man about it. Maybe that pile of blood and guts had been Fluffy, not the kind of news you want to share with the honked off old stranger on the back road in the middle of the night. He finally decided to tell the old man. If that was Fluffy, he needed to know. "You know," he began, "I ran across a carcass alongside the road about a mile back or so. It looked like a fresh kill. I hope that wasn't Fluffy." "Well, I kind of doubt it," said the old man. "But what did it look like?" "It was a pretty good size, maybe a German Shepherd or something like that." "No, that wouldn't be Fluffy. He's nowhere near that size. He's much bigger." Something plowed on the driver's side with the force of a freight train. His breath left him. With a whoosh, he found himself propelled head over heels in the front of the pickup. He landed on his back and he lay there trying to catch his breath. But there was no time. Something huge pounced upon his chest and began raking his body with powerful slashes. The drifter's clothing offered little resistance to the razor-sharp claws. He could feel something panting in his face. Its breath was hot, and it was dripping with some rancid drool that fell all over the drifter's head and neck. For just a brief moment he entertained the thought of being able to escape, but the weight of the beast, as well as the ferocity of the attack, was too much. The last thought to pass through his mind was the horrible realization that he was being eaten alive. The old man stepped out of the pickup and walked towards the beast in front of the truck. The lights on the truck illuminated the bloodbath that was occurring in the road. The beast was huge. It stood 5 feet tall at the shoulders and was covered in matte black gray fur. Its face its face was almost reptilian in nature. The long snout, and it was covered in scales. Two large fangs protruded from the sides of its jaws, which the beast was furiously using to rip chunks of the drifter's body. The old man watched for a few more minutes and then slowly approached the beast. Fluffy, there you are. I've been looking all over for you. The monster slowly raised its head. Dripping with the blood and gore, and warily eyed the old man. A low growl rumbled from deep inside its throat. It seemed to recognize the old man, and growling ceased. The old man stood there and watched his pet continue to rip the drifter apart. After a few moments, Fluffy stopped, as if it had done this many, many times before. It started to make its way towards the back of the pickup. The old man stepped in front of it and raised his walking stick. Oh no, Fluffy. You get back there and you eat. You know how upset I get when you don't finish your food. Too much story, too much for Chappy. What a horn dog said. He threw me off. The pants are coming off. Do we really only have 4 people in here? Y'all can't see me right now. What? Y'all can't see me right now. Y'all probably can. Trying to find. Oh, there's only 4 people in here. Womp womp womp. That's fine. Um, anyways, I think I might get off here soon. So I'll do another stream tomorrow, like the old days. And we might do a drunk stream Monday. Just making goofy faces. Um, Hope, what did you say? You said hi and then retracted it? I'll chat with you guys for a little bit if you want. Here's my USB sucking stick. There's my USB sucking stick. Pulled the sucking juice right out of it. I never look to see if there's memory on this thing. Plug it into my computer and see if I can see anything. Where's that cable? I doubt I can. Hey, we're up to 7. You gotta maintain at least a minimum number for me to continue. Is anybody alive out there? I see you. Whoa, almost fell off. Morgashigi. Morishigi? Is that how you say it? Read this quickly. You've been here. I know you're always here. You're wonderful. I bet Julie's here. Yeah, Julie's here. These stories aren't that creepy. I have to find some. Let's find some good creepy stories tomorrow. they gave that fluffy one a pretty good rating. Yeah, the last couple wasn't a bit more gory than creepy. That's story super nuts. What? I did what I had to do. The end. Maybe one more. Uno mas. Got a notification on something. Oh, sweat. Boost employee. Rick and Morty. Yeah, I bought Rick and Morty season 4 on YouTube. Officer down when the circus came to town. Everyone's distracted. It's the mustache, isn't it? I understand. I get it. I totally get it, man. I know you're not a man, but whatever. We'll read this one. Let's give me a little back support. Got my blankie. Still smells good. Oh, there we go. All right. This one's called When the Circus Came to Town. Everybody likes circuses, right? So I will be upping the production value of this channel soonish. Ooh, I might go to Odessa this weekend. Get my stuff out of storage. I like that idea. You're gonna start a pickle company? You know what? I'm not even. Anyways, oh, horn dog. Let's do this story. It would be called Tickle These Pickles. You do that. You open that store and I'll be your first paying customer. Anyways, here's this story. Because I gotta wake up at like 5 in the morning, so this is my last one. We're gonna wake up at 4. So an Advil PM and I'm out. The tents appeared in the middle of the night without preamble. There was some heated discussion at City Hall, because not even the mayor knew that they were coming. They must have worked out something, though, because the gypsy circus stayed. Our town wasn't big enough to support even a fair, so this was big news. That was how I found out myself, with my older brother Tommy and his friends that evening. I was just 15 then. Though we were in a small town now, my mother hailed from Boston. There was no way she would cut me loose to run around on my own. But if she'd known how bad Tommy and his friends really were, she would have known I was much better off alone. How much money you got? Frankie asked, punching my shoulder. Of the three older boys, I hated him the most. He regularly hit, kicked, and ridiculed me. While my own brother laughed about it, he was twice my size. I was a runt back then, but I dreamed of the day I could stand up to him, stand up to all of them. I gave the 20 mom I gave him the 20 mom had given me, but not the 5 I had tucked in my hat bill. If nothing else, I wanted to sneak a candy apple later. Dad was a dentist and we didn't have things like that around my house. They abandoned me while we walked inside the Midway. I'd never been to a circus before. There weren't many rides, but huge tents loomed everywhere. Barkers told us to come one, come all. See the magnificent beasts of the wild or the horrifying freaks of nature. I laughed at that one. I'd ridden in with the freaks of nature. Still, I wanted to see the lion. They looked so majestic on television. Reluctantly, I parted with $2 and stepped inside. The tent smelled of sawdust and sweat and dung, but inside were the most fantastic creatures I'd ever seen. I picked a peanut off the ground and fed it to the elephant, then sat on a bench to wait the show. The lions were my favorite part. I knew that they were big, but I never expected anything that huge. I held my breath when the lion tamer stuck his head in the creature's mouth. The incisors looked as long as my fingers. Its back teeth, which I knew were called carnassals from a book my dad had given me, worked like scissors to cut and tear meat. No way I would ever have those huge. No way I would ever had the guts to stick my head in there. After the show, I debated on spending another $2 to watch the same show again. I'll learn to read, I promise. But I really wanted that apple. As I made my way to the food trailers, a girl called out to me, "Read your fortune for $1." The sight of her took my breath. For the rest of my life, I'd dream about her face. I wished that she had seen her own fortune instead of mine that night. She didn't deserve what happened to her. I stared at her, transfixed. Her eyes were two different colors. I wondered if she wore contact lenses to achieve that effect in order to look more striking. One was icy blue and the other one was brown, like mine. The effect was jarring, and more so because she was lovely. Long black hair, full lips, dressed like a genie from a TV show. Her smooth tan belly bare. Hormones trumped hunger, and I let her lead me into the tent. She looked at my palm and stretched out in front of her. She talked for a while, giving me vague predictions. Then she gave me a long look and said, "You need to stand up for yourself. Do not let the others control your fate." I always wondered about that later. If she really saw that, it proved to be good advice. I wish I had heeded it. She walked me out after my reading, her hand tucked into my arm. "Well, what do we have here?" Frankie boomed. "The little monkey has a girlfriend." Her hand tightened on my arm as she smiled, taking the break. Frankie caught her arm as she tried to walk by, and Tommy and his friend James blocked her. I wanted to tell them to leave her alone, but my voice was a frog hung in my throat. "Hang on," Frankie said. "I got $1. I want my fortune told." "Matter of fact," he leered at her. "What will you do for What will a 10 get me?" To my horror, He grabbed her waist and pulled her against him. She struggled free and snarled something in a foreign language. Then she spat on his shoe. Frankie backhanded her and then drug her to her feet. I turned to run and James tripped me. I went sprawling into the dust and my mouth filled with blood. James hauled me up and I heard the clicks as he opened the switchblade he always carried. He pressed it against my back. One move and I'll slice your spinal cord, he said. Snitches end up in ditches. It only lasted 2 minutes but seemed like an eternity. They brutalized that girl. I heard her struggle at first and then nothing. That nothing terrified me. I was crying, blood and snot choking me. People walked right on by and nobody seemed to notice something was wrong. Something was horrible. The newspaper said her father found her naked and beaten in that tent. It was 2 days before she could give the police a description. I was relieved when the police pulled up in front of our house. Don't you say a word, Tommy hissed, or I swear on my life I'll end you. I wish I could say that I spoke up, told the police everything, but I didn't. I thought her description would be enough in the DNA. But I misjudged small town politics. Frankie, Tommy, and James spun some stories about the girl being a prostitute and soliciting them for money. They said she grew angry when they didn't have enough and threatened to cry rape if they didn't bring her money. They said another gypsy had beat her to make the story look real. The judge closed his briefcase and let them go. We walked outside together. I've never felt so sick and ashamed. Tommy and his friends stood beside me in their fresh suits and ties, looking like altar boys. The old gypsy woman approached. She muttered something, then made a sign in the air with her gnarled fingers. Frankie stepped towards her, and James caught his arm. The girl sobbed against her father, her beautiful face still swollen and discolored. She whispered something to the old woman and pointed at me. The woman's eyes narrowed as she made another sign. That's enough, my father said, and led us away. The circus disappeared, and within a week my brother and his friends were dead. Tommy got his hand caught in the garbage disposal at the restaurant he worked at after school. As it chewed his arm, they thought the pain was making him delusional because he was screaming about the lion's teeth. He bled out before the ambulance got there. James fell off a ladder while he was helping his father patch the roof. The fall severed his spinal cord. Frankie died in the most horrible way of all. He wrecked around Johnson's Bend one night and his car caught on fire. Rescuers said they had never forgotten his screams. I figured he's still screaming and burning in that place he went. I dreamed a lot about the old woman every night. She said, your crime is silence. You stood there and let evil reign, thus sealed your fate. One morning my tongue felt funny. When I peered in the mirror, it looked like a piece of bark was attached to it. It felt like bark too. Mom was still in her room, and I didn't bother her. I somehow knew it was my time. I went to the woods behind our house. My steps grew heavier as I walked. I could barely drag my feet through the leaves. When I looked down, my legs were no longer human looking. They were forming into a tree trunk. Roots curled from my toes and spiked into the ground. I raised my hand to feel my tongue, and my arm froze there. Bark raced down it. falling into place like Legos connecting, covering what was human. With no surprise, I saw the girl walk out of the woods. I know it wasn't your fault, she said. I begged my mama, my baba, for mercy. She said, you must learn a lesson. You will be a tree until you grow and mature enough to bear fruit. When the first apple falls from your tree, you will be human again. I hope you will pass, you will always, I hope you will always stand up for yourself and others after that. It took 3 years, but I'm still thankful for that lesson. Jesus. I was trying to read that last part. So I gotta wake up like really early. Like, oh my god. But anyways, so I'm gonna end it here. But you know, I love you guys. I want to make a quick thank you to my Patreons. You guys rock. Okay, sure is. I'll fix that. You like stories like that? They got their just desserts. Eternal life. Dude, one second, let me find my Advil again. The magic little pills. How many do I need? I don't remember. Maybe one. I'll just take one. Bo, how you doing, Bobo? I am done with my spooky story. If you guys don't know, some of you are just joining me. I said something about it earlier about one of our good friends passing away recently, Donna. Um, Bo, would you correct me if I'm wrong? Was it pulmonary disease or the oxygenating of blood? Is that how she passed? Um, fix this. It's gonna drive me nuts. Yes, low O2 to the brain. Yeah, that's very, very sad. Um, it's too bad. She really was a very sweet person. But guys, use that as a lesson. If you smoke, try vaping and then try to stop smoking, because that is the main. That's how your blood gets oxygenated by your lungs. Prev, good night, brother. It was good seeing you. Thank you very much for coming. Like, I know I'm vaping right now, but I will quit. Um, yeah, it's very, very sad. I burned myself with a caustic chemical the other day. Yesterday. Yeah, it's getting better. Oh shit, I'm a smurf. Yeah, you are. It. I mean, the water was 60 degrees Celsius. So like hey Siri, what's 60 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit?
60 degrees Celsius is 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
There you go. So the water was 140 degrees, and then it's got this KOH, potassium hydroxide. They use that to make soap in it, and I reached in. I had gloves on, but I reached in to get a wafer that had fallen, and I pulled it out. It's like, oh, burns! And I ran it underwater, and that's what it looked. It looked. I mean that looks pretty bad, but it looked weird yesterday. Your accident prompt. What is this? Is this a zip coming in? Nope, just a red spot. Mm. Um, yeah. Once again, Bo, thank you. Thank you for letting me know about Donna. Yeah, I bet your head hurts. My head? Yeah. Why would my head hurt? No, man, really. I hadn't got any of her notifications in a long time. So you know, it's not that you forget about people, but you're just busy doing your life and they just pass by. The burn? Nah, it's fine. I'll be all right. Um, what are you doing there? Whatever. Um, yeah. So, um, she's being cremated today. She was cremated. I don't know. I just said that. But yeah. You hate burns. They're the worst, especially chemical burns. Chemical burns are. I mean, the water's hot. It's warm because you got two pairs of gloves on, and it's it just seeped in. He's like, ran into the water. Use some deionized water on it. You hate burns with a flourish on your A. I hate burns. I think that's what you just said. But yeah, so we're probably going to be ending here in a little bit because this old chappie's got to be up really early. My boss doesn't seems to think that I can't wake up early because since I went to night shift, he's asked me, "Hey, can you come in early?" Like, yeah, I'll try. She appreciated me being there last night. And no makeup on the one for me, but oh yeah, no, that was very touching, Bo. And I know you two were connected. I just, I had to make my little joke. I didn't mean it in malice. My keyboard puts fancy characters in because I type in French too. Oh, oh, oh. Ah, you saw the comment? I was hoping you would. I hope I made you laugh a little bit. Um, I'm not always good with the heartfelt stuff, but I can crack a joke anytime. I'm real good at that. I know Donna would have laughed at it. Looks like you're catching the tail end of the stream. Hey, Emmy. You are, but that's fine. Um, I'm doing a stream, actually. Oh, yeah. I haven't done a stream in a week or so. Yeah, it's been about a week. Um, but we will be doing a drunk stream again in a few days. I think Monday. Maybe I'll do beer this time and not rum. So I probably won't get as drunk, but it'll still be fun. Um, Why's your dead skin around? Weird. Oh goodness. I remember Chappy Drunk streams. Oh yeah. They're fun. I don't know how my housemate's gonna like that, but we're gonna do one. Bo, have a great night, man. Good seeing you. You hang in there, buddy. Bo, join my Discord. It's in the doobly doos down below, I believe. And make sure you post on there. Let me know when you're streaming. And that lets my viewers know when you're streaming too. I think I got a section in Discord just for that. Let me see. It's the way that the cool kids are doing it nowadays. Oh yeah, it's in the previews. Only a few of us use it anymore. But you think as long as you don't do at home karaoke, you'll be good. I might do some if I can get my setup going right. I got my DSLR. I've got my camera here, but I don't have the connections. So I'll get those. I'll get the monster PC going, and I'll try to set up a little sound booth. Maybe put some stuff on the wall so I don't get this reverberation. So I'll be here for at least 6 months. So, and the internet here is pretty quick. It's kind of cool. But yeah. I accepted it, but I can't download the app right now. No worries, man. You do you. And we will see you on there. It's how the cool kids are talking nowadays. Make sure you read the COPPA thing on YouTube. Wait, what are you talking about? What COPPA thing on YouTube? COPPA? COPPA? Oh. What's gone with the FTC's COPPA agreement with YouTube? You'll be looking forward to Megadeth Peace Cells. Yeah. I will look at that. Thank you. Let me go to studio real quick. Because they're playing it off as everything's fine. All creators are obligated to take action to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act and other laws. Review your channel video settings. Hey, Freaky Geek. Do you want to set your channel as made for kids? Regardless of your location, you're legally required to comply with the U.S. Children's Online Privacy Protection. I'm going to say no, set this channel is not made for kids. It doesn't mean y'all can cuss. Okay. I'm not monetized yet. But as far as they got like a little thing now. It's like 753 subscribers out of 1,000 and 4,491 public watch hours. 4,000. Yeah. If I have to, I'll go to another outlet. Not that I want to, because I love YouTube. I really do. It's made things really, really great. But I would like to say I'm safe, as I'll never get monetized. But I fear I will be wrong. Twitch. I don't know about Twitch. I mean, I really don't know. Because Freaky Geek, you now have 720 subscribers. What kind of videos do you do? Gardening, local yarn shop tour, big birds and walk around the yard, seeds ordered over a month ago on eBay, mail shout out, swimming fish on either side of the bridge in shady spot. Oh, I have to check that out more. Cannot understand how DLive works. Let me look at DLive. Oh, you're on my channel. It's boring if you're not into what I like. Well, that's fine. I like all sorts of stuff. You'll never know what I'm into. My feed is ridiculous. I don't know. Nope. Not gonna stream that. Yeah, I'll have to look at all these streaming services later, and I've got the. I'm gonna look at the. I'm gonna go to bed here in a minute. But I'm gonna look at the couple stuff, and I'll go through it, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't be scared. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe one of us are gonna have to make one called Old Tube or something and make it. Your English needs help. Where are you from, Freaky? Um, Something like Old Tube, and it'd be, we get people that want to do, um, want to sponsor us, and I think that'd be Canada by English. And English is your first and only language. Oh, Chappy stream. Hey James. Uh, I'm getting informed over the FTC and all this stuff. Oh, even the Craftsman did a COPPA speed reading thing. All of my everybody's saying COPPA will fail and F the FTC. Yeah, I'm looking into this. So I'm not a big channel yet. but maybe we'll get there eventually. I don't know. But if I have to move services, I will. See by creepy mustache on other platforms. Every single one. Get fined for videos? Oh man. I'm gonna look into this right now. So I'm gonna go offline. You know I love you guys. You guys are awesome. And until next time, stay creepy, keep being awesome, and join the Discord so we can all stay updated with everybody. Um, yeah, I'll make a channel for the Kappa thing, and we can all talk about it in there, and we'll find out what's up. But all right, guys. Thank you, James, Julie, Emmy, Freaky Geek, Yandiri, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. We'll do another stream tomorrow when I know a little bit more about this thing. And yeah. All right. Bye.